What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're finally gonna pull this 2002 Dodge in, pull the transmission out of it. If you guys watched the last videos, you saw it has some major issues. Transmission actually only has 5th gear. All the other gears are gone. It makes horrible clunking noise. I want to start it up real quick, let you guys hear what this thing actually sounds like. It's pretty bad. It's the NV5600, guys. As you can see, feels like all the gears are there. It won't quite go into 3rd, but it feels like everything's there for the most part. But check this out when we start it. So the transfer case isn't for low because it only has 5th, so that's the gear you basically have to move it in. Apparently needs a blower motor too. So put it in gear, no noises, nothing happens. Reverse, nothing. Put it in 5th and it'll move. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, you gotta get it moving a little bit to get to do that. Oh, it was actually moving in reverse for a second, guys. See if we can get this to stop here. Man, that does not sound good. Okay, so maybe we won't put in any of the other gears anymore. Pretty painful. That was yeah, that was rough. But we got it pulled in here and we're getting ready to lift this thing up, guys. All right, guys, so to start with, we got to pull the interior pieces apart. The shifter is obviously connected to the top of the transmission, so it's got to come out. If you're pulling a manual out, take all this stuff apart, get it where you don't have to worry about it. I'm using my Milwaukee light right now. This makes it, it's really dark in here, being in the shop and this truck having tinted windows, so it's like really hard to see. But with this little Milwaukee light, it's for the hood, but it fits perfect in the cab. We will definitely be able to see all this stuff really easily. All up on the lift, good and secure. Always use my safety jacks, keep this thing good and solid. Got our table moved under there, got us a light hanging, and first step is going to be moving the drive shafts, move the rear one, move all these cross members out of the way too while we're at it, and probably not put them back in. Cross member there, big shield here, remove all that. No, I'm just kidding, guys. We'll put it all back in. Usually whenever you get a truck, they don't have them because other people don't put them back in, but we will. Drive shafts, so yeah, let's get all that out of the way. Drive shafts, and you guys will be able to see a little bit better. Drive shafts are out, cross members are all pulled out. They're all chilling over there. Came out pretty easy. Had to heat one of the bolts. It was being a little stubborn, but got it out. Now transfer case is next, so to get all of these transfer case mount, and these I won't have to. In auto, you got to take the mount out first. On this, I can just take the transfer case out. So can get to all these bolts, boom, boom. There's like 6 total, I think. And then we will jack the trans up, take the mount out. About you guys, but I'm a little curious, and I think I'm about to be to a stopping point for the night. I'm gonna have to catch up tomorrow because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the cross member out with how big the exhaust is. I don't know, I think it's in the way. So I'm thinking I want to drain the fluid in this thing real quick and see what I can actually see on the side of the transmission. All right guys, got some good news and some bad news. Good news is, well, let's start with the bad news. Bad news is that gear right there is completely trashed. You can see it on both sides. The teeth on it are just absolutely gone. That's really all that I can see though that's hurt. I know there's obviously a lot more than that wrong, I'm sure, once we get farther inside. But like, that's the only real damage I can see is that gear. But the good news is, I don't think that's gonna be enough to destroy the case. I'm probably gonna call it for the night, guys. So we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. All right guys, we just got the trans pulled down. I'm really glad I didn't do this while I was at home by myself. These things are just so massive. I don't think this, we've done G56s with this, but I don't think we've ever done an NV56. And what, oh, and the white Dodge? Yeah, my big time. Yeah, I guess we did. So it's only, this is the second NV it's done, and they are just freaking massive, guys. But here it is. Now we're gonna try and wiggle this thing out from under the truck and get it sat down somewhere where we can start working on it. So. Guys, we got the trans tore down, got the big case pulled off of it. This is how these things come apart, and it's looking pretty intimidating at this moment. Looked a lot easier in a video, but once it's right in front of you, there's a lot going on here. But look at all this, guys. Look at all this freaking gear material that's broken. Absolute carnage. It's a mess. Good news and bad news. Good news is we know what we need to change and we can actually just fix this transmission. Bad news is pretty much all of it has to come apart to be able to do it. But we found out what caused the issue in this truck. And this is probably overlooked by a lot of people. And it could really happen to anybody if you're not careful. But we're gonna make a pretty educated guess and say this is exactly what destroyed this MV5600. Not really destroyed it, just so. We started looking, and there's two gears that are damaged on this thing. This right here is your input shaft. You can see there's no gears on it at all, but it is a straight shaft, we believe, right? I mean, it's a straight shaft that goes... Yeah, it's made onto the input. So it's made, the input shaft is made onto, because it has fifth gear, and fifth gear we believe is direct drive, so that's why it has fifth. But all your other gears are gonna go off this gear to this counter shaft, okay? So what we think happened was well, it's kind of crazy, but this is our theory. That was misaligned. The input shaft was misaligned, and it slowly ate away at these gears until that happened. It probably ate away at them until they're just really thin. And the reason why, guys, is because this thing is missing something so simple that probably a lot of people look over and just put their truck together without them. But these freaking alignment dowels. It had one in, and then it was missing the other one. So technically, this transmission could sit here and go like this. Whenever it was up in here, it could move side to side. And what we think happened was, it only having that one in, it was off-centered a little bit, and the input shaft was slightly kind of misaligned, and it probably slowly ate that gear away long enough until it got thin, and it just ripped all the teeth off of it, ripped all the teeth off this one.
First, push that bearing.
You think it trashed the bearing first?
From all the heat.
And then, guys, this is, wow, I mean, that sucks. But the good news is we can probably fix this transmission without having to use the other NV5600 we have. The bad news is we got to take all this crap apart. So, unfortunately, guys, tonight this is probably going to be as far as we tear it down because we want to have a fresh mind. We're going to try and order these parts, and once we get the parts ordered, we're basically just going to change the input shaft, change that one gear. We may be able to, no, we'll have to take both these out. This is your main shaft, and this is your counter shaft, guys, but we're going to have to take all this apart to change that gear all out of it, and we might have to press it or something. I don't really know. So that's going to be for another video, guys, but there you guys can see how far we got it tore down and what we think actually caused the issue. So yeah, kind of bittersweet, you know. It's nice that we're gonna be able to fix it. The case isn't trashed or anything like that, but sucks because we got to order stuff, and sucks we got to go this deep into it.